Hey everyone, thanks for joining. It's Patty from pspapercrafts, and I have this partial embossing folder card to show you today. I got this idea from Gina K Designs, and I thought it was really pretty. So she used two different embossing folders and just partially embossed the top and the bottom. I made this with Gorgeous Grape and Granny Apple Green. And I used got it all here, Irresistible Blooms for the flower and the dies and the sentiment. And then on the inside, I took the sentiment from Charming Sentiments. Now the embossing folders I use, these are both going to retire, and they're marked down, I don't know, they're 3 something, I think. So they're a pretty good deal. And I wanted to have some big floral and then something kind of smaller. You could do dots or whatever there. I was going to use the basic folders, but I wanted to show you, and maybe I'll do actually the bottom with this. The basic 3D embossing folders. Let's do the bottom with this. I was going to do the flowers and then the cross hatch, but I thought the flowers was too small, and I wanted something more big and flowy and something that kind of coordinated with these flowers. So we are going to change up the colors. So Gorgeous Grape and Granny Apple Green, I love these together, and that's this one. And we are going to use Sweet Sorbet, and then we're going to use Parakeet Party. So these are this year's in colors, which will last for another year. So every time we have in colors, they last for 2 years. And I know there's a whole color refresh and all kinds of things going on, but there's a lot changing, but these are staying around. So let's start by embossing our paper. So I'm going to get my Big Shot out. Big Shot, listen to me. Ooh, that's an old term. I am going to get my Stampin' Up! Stamp and Emboss machine out. So when you're doing embossing, these are not 3D embossing folders. Okay, the 3D ones, well, I should say these are not. They're soft, these two. Okay, and then the 3D, these are very thick. So let me get one out. We're going to do we'll do the dots. See how that looks. So these are compared to these. And it will tell you, you don't have to worry about it. But these are very flimsy and these are not. And it says 3D embossing and this does not. So you emboss them differently depending on whether they're 3D or not. So let's do this one first. Okay. And when you emboss with a non-3D, you're going to use your number 1 base plate. You're not going to use your number 2. You're going to use a glass cutting plate. I shouldn't say glass, a cutting plate. I'm saying everything all wrong. And then you're going to put your cardstock with your embossing folder. And what I did was I just put this down, and I put the top is a little bit bigger than the bottom. So you can make it even if you want, and you want to make sure the Stampin' Up! Is above on the front, because that's what's going to be embossed versus debossed, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's just place it in here. I'm trying to get it straight. I mean, there's the line here, but you really have to kind of look at the whole thing and make sure it's not crooked. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put this down, and then we'll put our top plate on it. And I'm going to put the top plate just so it goes to the edge here. Now, if you want to tape this down, you can. Let's get this stuff out of the way. I usually have this going the other way, so we'll see how it works going front to back. I usually have this whole machine sideways. And I'm going slow so it doesn't pop. And I'm only going to go to the edge, and then I'm going to go back. I don't want to create a line there. And there's no exact science to this, so you don't have to worry about how far down you go. It doesn't have to be measured, I guess. So here we have that. Okay, and then let's take this is a 3D embossing folder. So this was from the basics. I'm trying to decide where I want the dots or the crosshatch. I don't know if these will be too big. Well, let's try it. Okay, so now I'm going to put it this way. So this is the embossed and this is the debossed. So you want to make sure you're having them both the same way, if that matters to you. I mean, you could have it both ways. So this is a little bit easier to line up because it has these dots. And you just have to decide how much room you want between. The sentiment is not very big. So see, I can see that it's a straight line across here. So I think that's probably good. So I'm going to put it in this way again. Only this time, I should have done this first. We want to take the plates off and we're going to use our 3D embossing plate. This is the gray plate. So we're just going to put this down right on the base, number 1. We'll put this down. And again, you could tape it down if you're worried that it's going to move. And then you're going to lay the number 4 plate over it. And we're going to lay it right to the edge so we know where we're going. And we'll go right through. Wait till we get right where it's kind of, you can feel it, that it's going to go down. And we'll come back. Sorry about that. It does make quite a sound. Okay, so let's see how this came out. So pretty cool, right? And this is a little bit, it's not straight completely, and I'll just show you what I'm going to do about that. So let's take this off. We will be using it again. And now I want to take my score tool, and I found this works better with your score tool and one of these versus your trimmer. The trimmer just didn't seem to give as good a mark. And we're going to turn it upside down, and we want to just get right in a groove right at the edge, just to kind of finish it off, which I thought really made a difference. Okay, and then we want to get in a groove over here. I'm going to do it this way. So this one came up a little bit. It's a little bit, it's not completely straight. Doesn't that give it a nice edge? Now, if there's anything like hanging over, like there's a little bit here, you can just use this and try to straighten it out. Okay, but isn't that nice? So now what we'll do is, and you can do it either way, I'm going to do it this way. We'll do our sentiment here. So I'm going to use the Sweet Sorbet and the Parakeet Party. So let's get our sentiment going. And I'm using the same one, Hooray It's Your Day. And you can use this for birthday, graduation, new job, whatever. It's a good sentiment. Okay, so this one is much narrower than this one. So you do whatever you want, right? And then we're going to stamp a big flower. And this is all from the Irresistible Blooms set, which I love. So we'll do a big flower. And then we'll do some leaves. Such a pretty color. And this is the Parakeet Party. And I did 2 sets of leaves with this. So 1, and then there's this other set of leaves, 2. Okay, and then we want to get our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine out and cut these. Okay, so let me get rid of this, and let me get rid of this. And then I need to bring back my number 2 plate because we're cutting. So we're going to have our number 1 plate, our number 2 plate, a bottom cutting plate, and I try to keep my top plate from cutting. I did make a mistake. Sometimes I have it the wrong order, but I do try to keep a bottom plate separate than a top plate. And I'm going to put these on. Just make sure I'm in camera here. And let me get the dies. We have the Irresistible Bloom dies, which I love. I think these are not in stock right now. This was the online exclusive. So I think, you know, it will come back. Can you hear my dog? He's making a funny noise. He's sleeping. I've been out all day. I've been running around. I went up to my new place that's being built, and I got to walk around inside, and it was nice to see it. So I have tile in my master bathroom. I have my railing and my stairs done. I had to drop off ceiling fans so they could install them. So it's coming along. I think I'll be in, I'm hoping in May. It's been a long time. I was supposed to be in a year ago, last April. That's what my contract says. So I'm patiently waiting, and the timing has been okay. I've been watching my kids, my grandkids, I should say. So I've been needed here. So all in God's timing, right? So everything has been working out okay. I know people are eager, other people moving in are eager to get in there, but I'm okay with the delays we've had. I understand. But I do want to get in. It will be nice. So here we go. We have that down. You don't have to tape them if you don't want. I usually tape them if I have more than one going through. Okay, and then we'll just go through here and cut. But I was excited to see it. There were guys in there working. They were actually taking their lunch. So they were all sitting around eating their lunch, and I went in. I was like, can I just take a sneak peek? And I took some pictures and just excited about it. Okay, so let's get rid of this. And then these will just pop out. I never put my, I'm so far behind, I didn't put all my dies. I usually have my magnetic pieces, and I didn't do that this year for anything, so I'm eager for the annual catalog. I did not get my catalog in the mail yet, but I've placed my pre-order, so once I get that, I'll start using it to make some cards, and there's some really beautiful sweets out there. So I'm going to put these down. What I did was, on the other one, was I popped this up, and I popped up the flower by just putting dimensionals. I like to do this when I do flowers with leaves underneath it. Put them very close together here, and then I have room to fit the leaves in wherever I want them. Because sometimes if you have them on the outside, the leaves don't fit in, but you can always trim down the leaves too. So I just put this here, and then we'll put a little bit of liquid glue on the leaves. Which one do you like better? I know there's a lot of purple people out there, but I like both, but I do like the Sweet Sorbet. It really kind of pops. All right, get this up here. And it's okay if it hangs over a little bit. You don't want it hanging over where it won't fit in the envelope, but it will. This is going on a card base, a Sweet Sorbet card base. So there we go. I think it looks nice with the dots. A little bit different. And having it, you know, with a border around it really just makes it pop off, right? Isn't that pretty? I like this idea. It's pretty cool. I mean, you could just emboss two pieces and put a plain piece between it, but I like having the the score lines on it. So now let's do an inside layer. And what I did in here, and I'm going to do the same thing, is I did the smaller flower. And instead of wishing you the happiest birthdays, which is on this, I'm going to do wishing you everything wonderful. So this is a great set to have. So let's get the wishing you everything wonderful. And I'm doing this in the Sweet Sorbet. And I love photopolymer because you can see right through it. Isn't that nice? Nice and big. And then we'll do this smaller one. I just want to make sure I cleaned it. Let me just, I'm going to just stamp it on a scrap over here. I did. Okay, so let's do this. And then we'll do some leaves. And I'm just going to put this under here because I know the leaf will go over. And I don't have scrap with me. So let's just do these smaller leaves, and we're doing Parakeet Party. And I'm going right up to the edge here because there's room, right? So I'm gonna just kind of go right here. So that looks good, right? Let's close this up, and then we can put this down, and we've got our second card made. I'll put it down with my stamp and seal. So Monday I'll be doing my live, and I'm doing my birthday series. So the live will have 3 fun fold cards. And if you, you can watch it live or the replay. It's 2 p.m. Eastern time on Monday. And I'll make 3 cards. And then if you purchase from my online store, $35, you'll get the card kits for free. And then $50, you'll get card kits and embellishment. So these, I believe, are retiring. Usually our ribbons and our embellishments, a lot of them retire. So I'm going to do the Sweet Sorbet one. Ooh, come on. I really hit it the wrong way. All right, let's do it this way. Some people make this look so easy and everything always works so nicely. I always struggle. I'm going to put this right here. Okay, so those are the 2 cards with, it's called Partial Embossing. So wishing you the happiest birthdays, wishing you everything wonderful. Which one do you like better? Gorgeous Grape, Sweet Sorbet? Let me know in a comment. And if you enjoyed this, please subscribe to me, like it, and head over to my blog, Patty at pspapercrafts.com, and I will have, pictures and all the instructions and measurements over there. All right, you have a good day. Thanks so much. Bye.